Hi, I'm Stephen Hand. Today I'm here to look at the PSE Vendetta. It's new for 2017. It's the Vendetta VX. Now the Vendetta has been around in the PSE lineup for many years, but in the past it's been a long draw bow. So when they brought it out for 2017, I really overlooked this bow, and one of the viewers asked me to do a review, so here it is. I haven't shot it yet. But to me what this bow is really it's a Bowmadness 34. So last year, 2016, PSE had the Bowmadness, which was 32 inches, which has been replaced with the Epics for this year, still 32 inches, and the Bowmadness 34. Now in my opinion, the Vendetta takes that spot. It's a bit over 34 inches axle to axle, IBO 342. Draw length is from 24 to 30.5 draw length, and that's with rotating modules. So the module adjustments here and there, just one wheel. So the top wheel has no adjustment. It's a circle on the back here, so you've got no timing issues. You don't need a bow press, and you don't need modules. It comes with the module. Now I believe you can get 65% modules for this, which is just the little one thing there which gets replaced if you want to shoot 65%. It's a 6-inch brace height, so it's really set up for 3D archery. And when I say 3D, it's simulated hunting, so you're looking for more accuracy. So it's a blend between target archery and hunting. The 34 inches is meant to be a little bit more forgiving than the 32 inches, but you still need the speed for 3D where you're guessing your distances. So it's a machine riser, and what else have I forgot? Oh, poundage. This one is a 70 pound to 47 pounds, so you've got 23 pounds worth of adjustment. On the limb bolts here, you've got 13 turns, you can wind them down, and don't go beyond that, because if you go beyond that you will strip out your limb bolts. Now the weight of this bow was advertised at 4.1. I weighed it on the scales with the sight, biscuit, and it came up to 4.5, so I figured it was about a 4.2 based on what I did before. Now there'd be we're talking about 0.1 variance in weight. I think when they measure the bow weight it's without these things added, but it's pretty close to the published weight. And just on that, I found that if it's a target bow, the weights are generally pretty much spot on, but if it's meant to be a lighter hunting bow, then the manufacturers can generally underweight their bows. So there's a company about to release a bow for 2017, and I said, and it's published at 3.8, and I said to the general manager, I said, is it really 3.8 or are you just crapping me? And he said, no, Stephen, it's a really 3.8. I said, that's fine, send me a few. So anyway, that's generally what happens. If the manufacturer wants more speed or less weight, you can see some variations on that weight and that speed. Now this is published at 342, which to me is extremely fast for these cams. Now these are the same cams that feature on the Epics, which is a very smooth cam. You have roller bearings in the wheels. Basically, to me, this is an Epics with a 2-inch longer riser. It's that simple. It's a standard grip. You have all your attachments there for 2-piece bow quivers, the multiple sight positions here. Comes with the new PSE strings, plastic limb pockets. Now when I do these reviews, I generally go what's in comparison to this bow on the market so you can compare it. And I couldn't find anything because the price point on this bow is around Australian dollars, about $8.90. I couldn't find a bow which was 34 inches axle to axle or 35 inches at this price point. Now this is not a big selling bow as far as 3D. For me it's not a big selling bow. 3D sort of semi top of line bows, generally what people will buy is either a top of line hunting bow or a top of line target bow, or beginners. So this market here is generally small sales we're talking. So I couldn't find much. There is bows in the mid $1,200, $1,500 with these specs, but nothing in this price point by any manufacturer that I can compare it to. So what I wanted to do, I still wanted to compare so you can kind of get a feel for this bow. I wanted to compare it to some other bows so you can go, well, how does it stack up? You've clearly got to compare it to the Epix. The Epix is 32, I think a smidge slower, like we're talking a couple of feet per second. And price point, I think it's about $50 difference. The 34 is $50 more. So for me, if I'm a recreational archer, a recreational 3D archer, this would be a bow I would look at in place of the Epix, because the price point is not that much more than the Epix, and it's giving me that longer bow feel. Now the other bows I came up with was the Phantom XT, and I've done a review on this. This is very much aimed at the target line. It's 35 inches axle to axle, a bigger brace height, so slower, $315. This bow's $1,000. It features the drive cam system, which is still a circle on the back, similar to the Vendetta cam system, as far as it's basically bigger system. So I would guess this would be slightly smoother to draw, but overall pretty similar, but slower. Then you go up and you go, well, okay, so I'm looking for a 3D, a bow. I'm not going probably hard, but I'm looking for more target accuracy, but I don't want a target bow. So then beyond that, you've got the Decree HD. Now this is a 7000 series riser, so it's twice as strong or 3 times as strong as the Epix, as the Vendetta. It features a similar cam system, so it's its own cam system. There's more weight taken out here, but it's still a circle on the back. It has a limb stop, which the Vendetta and the Epix don't have, so it has a limb stop on the top. It has machine limb pockets. It has the flexible cable guard. Basically, what you're paying the extra dollars for here, and we're going to say, let's say $300 to $400 more. You're talking a stronger riser and a slightly improved cam system, but you're talking more speed. No, I think the Decree HD is actually fractionally slower. So you're talking a slightly improved bow. When I say slightly improved, it depends on this riser, on how you value a riser. There is work in these limb pivots, limb pockets, to machine them all up. So there's absolutely a cost in that. So when you look at $300 to $400, you're really talking better riser with better limb pockets for the $400. And yes, you do have limb stop on the top, but to me and that's what you want. You want to go, well, $400, is it worth or is it not? Now the other bow, which is slightly more expensive than the Vendetta, is the Bear Arena 34. Price point on that is about $1,200, but I was still going $300 more. And to me, as soon as you go that $1,200, then I'm really looking at a whole bunch of different 3D bows, like the Evolve, this bow. Most of the other companies, 3D bows are more expensive. So Matthews 3D bow is more expensive, and I assume Hoyt has one which is more expensive as well, which I think would be the Defiant or something, but more expensive. So this, to me, the Vendetta to me is a bow aimed at not the beginner, because a beginner generally looks at the $500 PSE Stinger, but the person who goes, well, Stinger's $500, this is $350 more than a beginner's bow. And what I'm getting for that is I'm getting a machine riser instead of a cast riser. I'm getting an improved cam system, so I'm picking up 30 feet per second, and it's a little bit better bow. It's longer axle for $300. Now for me, between the Stinger and the Vendetta, can I justify $300? Absolutely, every day of the week. Because I've got the stronger riser, I've got a better cam system, I've got 30 feet per second, and just things are better, like the string stops, carbon. So absolutely, this, for $300, much better value, but you'll sell far less of them, because a beginner who's getting into the sport doesn't know how often they're going to shoot, they don't know much about it, and they're trying to keep under a certain budget, and this is generally going to blow their budget. So obviously the other 35-inch bow that I've forgotten about is a Chinese. But to me, that's a different kettle of fish, because then you're talking about, when I say performance, well, performance as well, but you're talking about reliability, you're talking a lifetime warranty on this compared to the Chinese products. So what we're going to do, we're going to shoot this through a chronograph and see what sort of speed we get out of it, and then we're going to shoot it at 18 meters and see what sort of groups I shoot with it. Thank you, bye. Okay, so we're out here to put the Vendetta through the speed machine. Now, I haven't drawn this bow back before, I haven't shot it, so this is the very first time. Now, I did like the Epix. The Epix was a bow I really, really liked. I didn't think I would like it, but I really did like it. So let's just see how this goes. I'll just describe the drawback process. So it's hard. Starting to get easier there. Easy. Wool, solid wool there. I'm just going to let it down. Now, I did do weights this morning, so my arms are sore, which may affect my shooting later. But the draw cycle, it doesn't just drop off. It's quite a long valley, so compared to the last bows I've just tested, like the Target bows, the TRX, the Hoyt, Prevail, those bows had such a short valley. They just basically hit, they were peaking and you didn't even feel it hit. This is, you can feel it coming in, but it's still quite smooth. So as it kind of rolls into the valley. So I'm surprised this bow shoots 342 feet per second without even tuning it through a chronograph. To me, this draw cycle feels easier than the two Target bows I've shot. And those two Target bows shot 300 feet per second. Now we're shooting this bow at 60 pounds, 29 inches with velocity 400 gold tips with 90 grain points. Bow set on 29 inches, the arrows are about 29 I think as well. So let's just see what sort of speed we get. Now that feels just easy the whole way through. Quiet. Wow, 308. So this bow is 10 feet per second faster than the Hoyt. Now this is interesting. So we did the Hoyt Defiant Turbo, which was $2,000 bow, 355 feet per second. It shot 310. This shoots 308. This bow is what, $900? So you're talking a bow half the price. Now the shot itself, the draw cycle, easy. Like honestly, I thought when I saw these specs at 342, and I probably preluded to it in there, that manufacturers, and I'm not saying PSE do this or anyone else does it, but there's some question about speeds and bow weights. And I thought the way this bow draws so much easier than the other bows, that I was thinking I'm going to see 290. That's what I thought I'd see in the chronograph. So 308 for a $900 bow that draws like this, there's no pain. I remember when I was shooting the Prevail, I was like, whoa, there's a bit of shake. I grouped well with it. I grouped really well. But it was such a hard bow. This is just easy. And because it doesn't lump over, as soon as you get back there, you're aiming. Let's just take a shot. Now the shot itself, the bow's balanced in the hand. The bow's out balanced. Now, very little noise, very little vibration. Now when I shot the Prevail, because these are the ones I can remember, I got left and right. I'm just going to shoot a thing. Oh, that one was 311 feet per second, so it's shooting. This is a different arrow. This is a gold tip Pierce, which is heavier, so speed won't count. But this bow, I really like the Epix. To me, one of the best bows. The downside is the plastic limb pockets, which is, you know, the bow's built for a price, but I like this one better. If I had a choice on an Epix or this, the Vendetta, I'm choosing this one because it's 34 inches, more accurate. When I say more accurate, easy to shoot, cams are the same, And like, if it's only 50 bucks, yeah, that's good. Like, it feels nice. Price point is good. Now, my problem with this bow, the Vendetta and the Epics, as far as bows I sell in my shop, and I've got the PSE t-shirt and the PSE cap on, but as far as PSE, the bows I sell in my shops, this is really well priced. Now, the problem why I wouldn't shoot it, and I may shoot it yet, is these plastic limb pockets. Now, I've never had one break. So in all the thousands of bows I've ever sold, none have broken. But I just prefer the machine. I prefer top of the line. I prefer the top of the line stuff. That, no, this is the best stuff. Come 2017, this is the best. That's what I like. But this is just, that's just, it's just easy to shoot. Now, the question you're going to ask, if you brought one of these, how well are you going to shoot with it? Now, my answer to that is, it depends how much you shoot. Now, is the difference between this and, let's say, a $2,000 target bow. If you put the arrows out, if you put the work in, you'll get the results out. So it's always a matter of how much you shoot. If you shoot more than the guy next to you, you're probably going to score more points than him. And life is pretty much that simple. There's always going to be a guy who goes, oh, I shoot once a week and I shoot these really good scores. But on I'm going to say on a world stage, the people who put in the more work, when I was shooting 4 hours a week and I was doing okay, I was just doing more work than the other person. The person who was beating me is doing more work than me. And it's like, now I'm not doing 4 hours work. It's like, but this bow, quiet, good. Vibration's nice, no stabilizers. Now, the bow weight itself, I prefer lighter. Myself, for a hunting rig, I'd prefer under 4 pounds. But I'm going to give this bow the thumbs up because the 4.1, which is what it's recorded at, I think it's probably 4.2, and I'm not going to argue over 0.1, but I'm going to say that for a 35-inch bow, 34 point whatever, 34 and a quarter, 34 and a half, that 4 pounds is pretty good. And overall, the draw cycle is really, really good. So to me, in the speeds I'm getting out, this is pretty good for that draw cycle. Like, it's easy, no pain. Like, I drew weights, but there's no pain at all. This is good bow. So let's take this inside now and let's shoot some arrows with it. It's funny, I didn't think I'd like this bow, and I thought about the Epics, which I didn't think I'd like, and I really, really liked. So let's take this bow inside and shoot some arrows with it. Okay, so I'm here at the shooting range to shoot the Vendetta VX for 2017 at 18 meters. I was really amazed, and I've probably said this before, about the draw cycle. Very, very easy. Now, I've had 3 arrows practice to get my sight set. The last one went in the middle. Doesn't mean the next one could have been a lucky shot. So I'm going to shoot 6 arrows with this bow, 18 meters, and let's see how it groups. Now, I found this little thing here did get in my way for a couple of my shots. Hey, look, I can move it up, so that's good. See how it shoots. But I really like this bow. So let's just... So the aiming, to put the little dot on the center, easy. Now, in the aiming process, I found it was dead center, and then my little pin jumped up to the red, and I brought it back down and it held steady. But basically, as soon as I got it back, it was aimed right at the center. That's because the draw cycle is pretty easy to draw back. So even though it's a fast bow, like 311, pretty quick. The grip is in between sides. One thing I find really interesting when you talk to people like an archery club, they'll go, you've got to get rid of the whisker biscuit arrow rest, it's going to make you shoot really poorly. Or, you know, you can't shoot well with a hunting sight. Like I'm just shooting here, no peep sight, hunting sight, whisker biscuit. They go in the center. So I'm not taking a shot at the people at the club, but generally the people saying that are generally not very good shots, because even with a $20 arrow rest and a $20 sight on your bow, you can put them in the center. And I never blame my equipment for poor shooting. I mean, it may be the equipment that might not be set up correctly, but there's too many people who blame the equipment. They think, well, if I fit a $200 arrow rest to my bow, my scores are going to go through the roof. I've never seen it. So, and don't get me wrong, I've fitted gear and my scores have gone up, but that's like fitting stabilizers, fitting a scope. Would I shoot better with this bow with stabilizers and a scope? Absolutely. But still, the results down here are still good. So let's shoot all 6 arrows first. But I do like the grip. The grip's in between the expression and the Hoyt in width. So it's a very comfortable grip to shoot. In fact, with my hunting bow, I had a decree. With my hunting bow, I used to shoot without a peep sight because in low light conditions I couldn't see. My scores were pretty similar with a peep and without a peep. There wasn't a lot in it. I eventually fitted a peep because I shot more target archery. The advantage of the peep sight is, you know, the advantage, but one of the things, this string down here is clouding my vision at the target. So to me, it's an advantage to have a peep sight. One more. Now I haven't been shooting compound much lately, so I'm going to make excuses before I start. I have been shooting a bit of recurve and I have done weights this morning, so muscles are a little bit tired. But I feel like I'm shooting okay, so just going to shoot one more. So I've got no idea how many arrows I've shot. I feel like it's 6 already. I feel this is the best group I've ever shot. But I can't see my arrows. But I can. They look like they're all in the center. Alright, let's take it down and have a look. Okay, so I'm up here at the target. This is my group. So now I can't fit my fingers around all the arrows. Now I've shot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arrows. There are 2 X's, a 10, another 10, so there's 4 10s, 2 9s, and that'd be a 9 as well. It's borderline 8. This is a hunting bow with hunting sights, a whisker biscuit stabilizer. It's a pretty good group. Now these ones off to the side, I'm making excuses here. This is the pin, me aiming at the pin. I was having some issues with the pin, with the string lining up with the pin. I sound like I'm making excuses, but they're definitely there. I'm happy with this group. The one which was low, I definitely aim low. Now what's interesting when you talk groups, with the Hoyt Prevail I had two good groups. 3 arrows were touching, 2 arrows were touching, there was one low. So those 3 arrows touching were all touching, so was the 2. But this group, it's pretty good. And it's a $900 bow. And for most beginners, like that sort of score for indoor archery, you're probably going to be happy with. Now if you put target stabilizers on that bow, you put a scope on that bow, a target sight, and even if you put a drop away arrow rest, your scores are going to pick up. So once again I go back to, is there much difference between a $900 bow and a $2,000 bow or the $1,400 Supra? I don't find there's a lot of difference in it. In fact, this bow probably was easy to shoot without a stabilizer because it was well balanced in the hand. So when I was shooting, basically the balance was good on the bow, so it was easy to aim, and when I shot the bow it felt easy to shoot. So I think that's why I was getting good results there in the target. But overall, the Vendetta, I'm going to put it right next to the Epics, a greatly undersold bow. And it's probably because people don't even look at it. They either go beginner level, which is the Stinger or the Drive, or they go straight up to the $1,200–1,300 Evolves. But to me, there's a lot of reason to buy this bow even over the Evolve 35 because it's lighter. In weight, I'm not sure the speed, you'd have to check the speed test versus the Evolve, but it's definitely quick. So, and there's a difference in price, so I really like it. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, the Vendetta VX. As far as I'm concerned, one of the best bows, value for money, on the archery market today. I really like it. I always mention customer service because customer service is so important if you have a problem and if you want to get a bow in. PSE, if the bow's not in stock, you're generally talking about 2 to 3 weeks for this bow to come in. And if you have a problem, for me, I'm looking about 3 weeks for it generally to be fixed, unless it's an old item where the parts are no longer made or it's something rare. But generally 3 weeks for something which is in production. That's generally about a week to a week and a half in from the States. So they ship to me once or twice every week. So PSE, just the shipping is easily the best of all the bow manufacturers, and that's the standard of which I think all companies should be adhering to. Regular shipments, getting stuff out the door quickly on a regular basis. I don't think it's that hard, but it seems to be. But PSE does a great job, family business. And when I say family business, most of the staff have been there for years. And I'm talking the people who build these bows, the lady who builds them, the lady I'm thinking of, she's been there for over 25 years, just building PSE bows on the assembly line. I think about her because I had to talk to her, but my sales rep has been there for, I'm going to say 10 years. Everyone has been there for such a long time. It's such a good company to deal with because it's just not a revolving door of people coming and going. It's just, and they do care about customer service. They really do. Like, they want to make people happy. They want to make me happy as a dealer wanting to sell them. And that's what I try and purvey in these videos. And people say, oh, you're pro PSE. Absolutely, because they look after me and they look after my customers. I don't have any real problems with them. So, and I don't have to wait that long. So anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, the Vendetta VX. Have a shot at it at your local archery shop and compare it to the other bows, because I think you will be surprised on how good this bow is against any other bow in the shop. Thank you, bye, and enjoy your archery. Thank you, bye.